Did you ever hear the fable of the treasurer who cried infrastructure spending in South Australia? Well, once upon a time there was a road in Adelaide that needed to be upgraded called the North-South Corridor. The federal treasurer went to all of the townspeople and proudly boasted that there was $2.6 billion in the budget to pay for it. The townspeople rejoiced, but some couldn't help wondering, haven't we heard all of this before? And it turns out they had, all the way back in financial year 2018-19. So what's going on here? The simple answer is that the federal budget comes out every year and governments use that opportunity to re-announce the same funding for long-term projects over and over again. The first section of the North-South Corridor isn't scheduled for completion until 2028, which is a whole decade after the initial announcement. That means the government can re-announce that funding 10 times on the way through. While having 10 bites of the cherry might sound like a good idea, it isn't a particularly satisfying meal. Amid a sea of announcements, pre-announcements and re-announcements, it's often hard to keep track of what is actually new money in the federal budget and what isn't. Well, Budget Paper 2 is the place where new spending initiatives can be found, and if you turn to page 155, you'll see that just $131 million of funding has been announced for infrastructure in South Australia next financial year. That might be less exciting than the multi-billion-dollar headline figures being thrown around, but at least it isn't a fairy tale.